All right, for homework 2-2, I'd like you to, again, find this page in your packet, do these last two problems, 3 and 4 on this page, and then I'd like you to find these two problems on this page of your packet. I'd like you to do the work, write down the 3 words. And then for tonight, I'd like you to take a picture of tonight's homework and what you did last night and put it on your slide. Again, I will show you. But again, make sure you find this page, 5-1. I'm going to do the additional 2 problems at the end. Look for and listen for my famous 3 random words to show me that you listen. All right, first one in blue. Start at 3 on the y-axis. Looking at that number in front of x, which is 1. That is a 1 over 1 slope. Over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1, over 1, up 1. Be able to stair step the opposite way. Remember that every coordinate along that point satisfies that equation. Any point on that blue line will satisfy if I plug in for x and y into that equation. Graph the second one in red. So positive 3, looks like that's where they intersect. Over 1, down 2, that is the slope for this line. So right 1, down 2, right 1, down 2, stair step the opposite way. Draw your line. First word is ocean, ocean. We would like you to label these lines. And now they want you to check that intersection point, which is the coordinate 0 for x, 3 for y. I'm going to check that into both of those equations in blue and red. So I'll do the blue one first. So I'm going to plug in 3 where that y used to be, 0 for where that x is, and that should work. That point 3, 3 satisfied that equation. If I plug in that same point into the red one, that's going to be the same 3 for y, but this one is negative 2 times 0 for x, and that gives me another true statement. All right, the second one here, graph it. 3x minus 8. I'll do this one in blue. Negative 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. This one has a slope of 3 over 1, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3, right 1, up 3. Draw your line, put arrows on the end, label your line. Alright, the one in red, that's negative x, and then there's no number right there, that's plus 0. That kind of throws people off sometimes. So 0, 0 is my y-intercept because there's no number there, it's 0. And then that number, negative 1 over 1, tells me where to go from that. So over 1, down 1, over 1, down 1. Looks like that's where they touch. Draw my line, label it, find that point right there, and plug it in to check. That is the coordinate 2 for x positive, down 2 for y. So if I plug it in, I'm going to plug in that x and y number into both equations, the blue and the red. I'll do the blue one first. So negative 2, where that y used to be, I got 3. I'm going to times 2 where that x is, and see if that gives me 2 equal numbers. Negative 2 equals 6 minus 8. That is a true statement. That point satisfied the blue equation. If I plug that same point into the red equation, so negative 2 for y, negative, and I put that 2 in there, which makes that 2 negative, gives me negative 2 equals negative 2, another true statement. So again, graphing 2 lines and seeing where they intersect, where they touch, that point will satisfy not just that one line, because remember, every point on a line satisfies that line's equation, but that point satisfies both lines' equations. It's called the solution to the system. All right, second word is cat. Cat. All right. right, here you go. Last two. Find this page. This is kind of what we did today. So graph it and let the inequality tell you where to shade it, and then pick a point that should be the correct half. Looks like both these boundaries are solid line, which means if you're plugged in a point, any point on these lines will be good if you want to graph it. Looks like they're already graphed. We want you to pick a point and use it to determine. So again, the way I teach it is this inequality is the less than direction is going to be below. Sometimes what they'll have you do is pick a point above that line, pick a point below that line, and plug it in, and whichever point is a true statement, you shade that way. But the way I'd like you to do it a little quicker, let the inequality tell you. If it's less than, shade below the line. If that inequality would have been the more than direction or equal to, solid would have been above the line. So know that. Less than, below, more than, above. So for this problem, it's definitely less than. So let's have you pick a point in that shaded zone right away. Looks like that coordinate is 0 for x. 1, 2, 3, 4. Looks like I could use that point right on the line if I wanted to, because that line is solid. So let's use that one. So if I plug in -4 for y, and I plug in that 0 for x, even though -4 isn't less than -4, because that little equal line under there makes that a true statement. If that equal line was missing, that would have been a dotted line, and that would end up being a false statement. That's why you can't choose points on a dotted line, but a solid line you can choose it. All right, last one here. This graph is more than. So again, let the inequalities tell you where to shade. More than, above. Less than, below. This is more than, above. So that means all these points above that line, including this line itself, are golden. I'm going to choose this one right here. 3, 3. Plug in 3 for this equation's y. More than or equal to -3 times another 3 from that x coordinate. See if that's true. Is 3 more than or equal to -9 plus 5? Is +3 more than or equal to -4? Yes, it is. That is true. Any point in that shaded zone will work. Any coordinate not in that shaded zone, maybe write this one too, will give you a false statement when I plug in 0, 0. That gives me 0 more than or equal to 5. That's false. 0 is not more than 5. All right. The last word is curl. Curl is the last word. I'd like you tonight to take a picture of tonight's homework and combine that with what you did last night and put a picture of that on your slide. So here's someone who put a picture of last night's homework on their slide. I hid the magic words because I want you to watch. I want tonight's homework posted on your Google slide too. So hopefully I'll see both last night's homework done and tonight's homework. And of course, you could always show me in person to get your points too. All right, good luck.